On this episode of the Best of Bias Podcast, you got me, myself, and I talking some pop culture topics. It's kind of a rapid fire podcast today. It's just me by myself. So just kind of rambling on stuff I want to get you guys caught up on, man. I am back from vacation. It's been somewhat of a layover since you guys seen me last, but I'm back. AKA is not here with me today, so it's me just kind of going over some stuff. So forgive me if I kind of ramble and kind of go off on some tangents, but I'll try to keep it directed. It's basically pop culture, man. Some sports sprinkled in from here from time to time, depending on where I go. I'm still waiting for some of these guests to pop up, so I might not give away everything. Just something for y'all to chew on this Friday. I know I got some episodes to record this weekend, so plenty more to come. But this episode is going to be basically just me spitting at y'all, telling y'all how I feel about some of this pop culture that's been in the, pop culture sphere, as I like to say, in the last couple of weeks. So enjoy the episode. It's just me, but I got a clean face today, so it's gonna be nice to look at. But yeah, for audio listeners, welcome back. Visual listeners, welcome back. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. But it's the Best of Bias podcast. Enjoy. It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast with Lydell Dinero and Hugo Twilight.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy. Like I said, it's just me today. I'm gonna get into some of this pop culture stuff, man. I missed y'all. It has been a while. I have been promising guests, and they all have been kind of flaky like a fresh croissant, if you know what I mean. So they will be coming on soon. I promise I have friends. I promise you guys I do. It's just that sometimes it's hard to kind of coordinate these meetings, these podcasts, when you got a bunch of people, successful friends doing what they do with their careers, you know what I'm saying? But we hope to get Chelsea and Jen on here in the next episode and the next, probably this weekend, hopefully. We also got Deshaun coming up. We're going to talk some more gaming, and hopefully we can get the return of AKA. He did travel across country. He drove all the way across the country to Indianapolis. So it's been a while since we kind of got to sit down and talk podcast, but he's getting all set up there, I'm sure. Once he's all settled, he'll be back in case, for all his fans out there. Everybody's missing him on the screen. But without further ado, let's hop into some stuff. Firstly, I want to say RIP, man. These RIPs come every podcast. It seems like we have somebody to say RIP to, but RIP Trouble, man, artist out of Atlanta, more than an artist. He was a very influential person in the city of Atlanta. Kind of, I would think, I figure that, these younger guys kind of look up to somebody that was in the streets, may still have been in the streets, but kind of like had doing it in a more mature way, a little bit more mature, and it's kind of like leading. I don't know if that is kind of like a oxymoron to be a mature street dude, kind of like leading the way for young people. But it's just, I mean, if you're going to be in the streets, there's ways to do it, I feel like. And, some of the OGs per se need to kind of like, teach the youngins the way to be, because the streets is wild and there's multiple shootings out. Whether it's gang related or just fight related, people are just shooting and hitting innocent bystanders. And some of those tragedies I'll talk about a little later. But for now, RIP Trouble, his family. I thought he would be the last one to get in some trouble like this, or not even trouble, just in like incidents, just because of the way he moved. I thought that he would, he was secure in the streets, and Atlanta, everybody respected him as a person of notice, and this kind of thing wouldn't happen to him. Actually, it was some kind of domestic incident to where he was at a girl's house, one of his girl's friends, a friend, that's a girl. I don't know if it was like somebody who took it up with or whatever. That doesn't matter actually. But I think an ex-boyfriend of hers or something like that saw that they were hanging out together, and he was disgruntled about that and supposedly beat up the girl and then shot Trouble once in the chest, killing him, which is it's tragic, man. Now I wouldn't say he's an artist that I listen to a lot, but he's one of the artists that I did respect, especially coming at the Atlanta sound. One of the artists that he was behind the scenes, he was, friends with everybody. Everybody knew him had features on everybody's songs. And after a while, you started seeing him on TV, and it's just like him articulate himself. And it's like, man, his vibe is really cool. What he stood for is really cool, and he will be missed, man. We lose another one. It's just kind of tragic to see all these hip hop people, so our stars, up and coming stars, young dudes, being taken away from us super early. On some, I mean, and it seems like it's always the same stuff, either gun violence or drugs. Man, I wish hip hop was in a better place to where, you know, it was more positively influenced, and we could prosper off the music and not have all this other shit going around, that you feel like you have to do on the other side to maintain street cred or popularity in the rap, in hip hop. It's just tragic. And that, kind of goes hand in hand with the next couple of tragedies that we heard about recently, the one in Uvalde, Texas, and Tulsa. Firstly, with Uvalde, Texas, this 18-year-old boy shoots up a elementary school, killing 18 people, which is completely tragic, man. It's just seeming like these shootings, mass shootings, are happening more and more in places that we would think were sacred. You know what I mean? Churches, grocery stores, movie theaters, kids' schools, hospitals. It's just nuts. He took another AR-15 situation, assault rifles. It's just kind of crazy how much access people have to these weapons to be able to do these things, especially if you're going to stores and buying them. There should be ways to kind of track who has these weapons and who has access to them. So if stuff like this does happen, we can kind of pinpoint that and, like, I don't know, background checks, and this should be way harder. And my stance on it, my bias on it for sure, is to get these assault weapons, any weapon at all. You kind of need to do a mental check, a background check, all kinds of stuff to make it a little bit harder for these people to be able to do these kind of things, especially going into kids' schools, like, what was it, like 11-year-olds to like 14-year-olds, like little kids. He, not to make it any, like, he didn't even go to a high school. He went to a little kid school to where he knew that everybody would be so defenseless to where he can just get away with what he did. And then, of course, he was killed at the scene. But it's just nuts, man. These people do these things and have, like, backstory, like stuff that they put online that kind of you could have tracked and nipped in the bud a long time ago if they really did pay attention. But yet we're out here knowing everything about these RICO cases these rappers are doing and everything these rappers are doing. You know what they say in their songs. You know when they turn left. You know when they turn right. You know when they wipe their ass. But these motherfucking serial killers, these murderers, mass shooters, can go online and type what they're gonna do up in a community group, and nobody has no clue that this is gonna happen, or pictures with the guns, and you don't think this shit's gonna happen. Like, come on, man. It's wild, and it just has a weird undertone to it that I don't like. It leaves a sour taste, and for the fact that people in the government still feel like they shouldn't change the gun laws because you know mass shootings are going to happen regardless. Like, I saw a poll that like 72% of, I think it was Congress or something, felt like there should be something done about the access, something done about the access to these weapons. And then 22% of them, or like, yeah, 22% of them said that mass shootings are going to happen anyway. So we gotta, like, just kind of learn to deal with it, or some stupid shit like that. It's just wild how people think. You can see little kids get killed. You can see old people get killed at grocery stores. In the case of Tulsa here, 4 people killed in a hospital. You know what I mean? Like, it's just places that that are supposed to be, again, sacred, and where you're not supposed to be out doing that. Nobody's supposed to shoot anybody at all, but places where people are healing, places of worship, where little kids are, and it, like, where people are with their families, and shit like that shouldn't be going down. I know there's a lot of stories out there that are being intertwined, which are kind of like regular street violence kind of thing, and there are a lot of people getting hit, and those should be considered as mass shootings, but I don't think they're the same as these racially motivated killings that are out there happening. And I feel like they're trying to lump those together when they talk about mass shootings right now in media, kind of trying to take onus off of what's going on. Just like, look, it's happening everywhere. It's happening in the hood. People are shooting at each other and people are getting hit. I don't think that's the same as somebody having an AR-15 and going to a kid's school, just mowing down a bunch of kids and teachers. That's I don't know. There's something more specific there's bigger fish to fry. I know that might be a bad term, but it's like, come on now. It's getting wild. It's like each week we hear about something new that is going on that is just tragic. And it's nuts, man. It needs to slow down. It needs to stop completely, but we need to make steps, at least in the right direction, to slow it down before we can just turn the faucet off completely. Whew. I just think that kind of somber stuff in there. RIP to all the families, you know what I'm saying, to all these situations. I just pray for the world gets in a better place sometime really soon. To lighten up the topics here a little bit, the Warriors and Celtics series is going on right now, 1-1. I was surprised Celtics took the first game. Me personally, I felt like the Celtics were going to take this series anyway. It's just how I feel about it. I felt like they had bigger, longer defenders that could kind of shut down the Splash Brothers, adding now Jordan Poole. I thought Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum could be enough to kind of, shut those people down, especially with Derek White kind of putting on the straps lately. Al Horford being able to kind of neutralize Draymond Green. And then you have Robert Williams who can kind of neutralize Looney if they play him. So I thought they'd have a chance. And that kind of manifested itself the first game, even though Steph Curry did go off at like 21 points in the first quarter, which was nuts. But in the second game, the Warriors kind of showed their true selves, especially at home. They knew if they lost that game, they would be in dire straits trying to win over there in Boston 2 games in a row not to get eliminated. You know what I mean? So they had to win that game. They did split at home. I think it's really good momentum for them because the Boston Celtics are privy to losing at home. They have lost a lot at home in the playoffs thus far. So if the Warriors can still win there, and they can, be tied maybe 2-2 going back home for game 5, that'll be beneficial for them, obviously. But I think they could do it. I mean, basically, if they, if the Celtics keep turning over the ball like they did in game 2, I think it was like 19 turnovers leading to 33 points or some shit like that. You're not going to beat the Warriors like that, especially if they have, the shooting on all cylinders. Klay Thompson's had a bad night, and it still felt like the Celtics were getting blown out by Steph Curry and just kind of the movement. There's a lot being said about Draymond Green's play and how he played, how he was kind of like playing a little chippy after they give him his first technical. He's kind of talking a lot about how he feels like he can play freely because they're not going to give him a second to eliminate him from the playoffs, especially in the finals. So I think he knows he has a little bit of leeway and he can get away with a lot more, which is kind of a fucked up mentality in the sense of if you're the opposite team. But we'll see how that goes in Boston. I don't think it'll work out the same, especially with the crowd and the players probably going to be trying to egg them on a lot more, especially with analysts and ex-coaches and ex-players all saying that's what people should do. Try to rile him up more, get in his face and stuff like that. That way, if he does have a first technical, he's not going to be able to maintain himself and he's going to get kicked out. Regardless, it's just kind of funny to me how he just actually feels like he has to do that to add to his team. If he's like if he doesn't do that, if he's not an agitator, he might as well get out of the game now and be kicked out of the game because he's not going to be any use to his team. But I mean, I don't know, man. Because right now you're playing some young boys, and I guess that might work in the finals. And I mean, maybe that's what it needs to, that's what it's for, to win these finals, get in the playoffs and win. But after a while, you antagonizing these guys may work against you because, they could just, use that as motivation to, dog you. And that could happen. We've seen the Warriors lose by like 50 in the game before. So do not let the Celtics first game at home, them come back, especially with that confidence you guys exuded. A lot of the shit you guys been talking to Memphis, a lot of the shit you guys been talking, I don't know, man. It's going to be a good series. I know the Warriors can definitely win it. I'm not going to lie to you, but coming, it's like last 6 out of 8 finals they've been in. So there's a lot of experience there, but man, we're going to see what happens. It's been a good series so far. By the time this podcast comes out on Friday, game 3 have probably already happened in Boston. It's happened. We're recording this. Today's Tuesday. So yeah, the game is tomorrow. Oh yeah, we'll probably see the result and I'll probably get back to y'all. Y'all see it on the Instagram. If y'all don't follow me on that Instagram, do that shit now. Go pause the podcast and go add Best of Bias and SAC_Lydell on Instagram. And then go to the YouTube page if you're not already watching the podcast on YouTube. Add, like, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And comment if you like to. let us know what we can do to give you the best bias possible. But anyways, while we're talking about basketball, LeBron James being the first active basketball player to actually, it might be sports player, you know, if I'm wrong, don't quote me. I feel like either way, he reached the earnings of $1 billion. So the only active sports player, I'm gonna say sports player. I'm gonna say it with my chest. If I'm wrong, whatever, my chest will deflate. But right now I'm saying it with my chest. He's like the highest earning active sports player right now, being worth $1 billion, which is an elite class, and it's an acknowledgement that deserves a round of applause. I'm gonna do a little baby golf clap. You know what I'm saying? Let me get up this way. You know what I'm saying? Just to let you know, I mean, I respect LeBron James to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? He's my, he used to be my third favorite player, but you know, I'm loyal to my Nuggets, so I think he got pushed down to maybe 4.5. But it's whatever. It's whatever. LeBron, I really respect him. He's my top five for sure. My top five players that I like. I'm saying, I'm not saying the best top five players ever, but my favorite top five, my bias. You know what I'm saying? I'll let y'all know that one day right now, but I ain't gonna spit it to you. All right, I'll do it. I got Carmelo, I got Nikola Jokic, I got Jamal Murray, and I got LeBron James. What? Can I not have that? Can I not have that bias? It's mine. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. But yeah, LeBron making $1 billion. Yeah, it was destined to happen, man. He has all kind of like business endeavors. Maverick Carter, and his boy, his name is slipping my mind right now, but he's always in the media, so I don't know how. He's dating Adele. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyways, his two homies he put on, and they've been doing work since he's actually gotten the league. You know what I mean? The sports agency, the production company, the movies, actually being able to do Space Jam 2, all that's pretty wild to me. Opening the school, all the endorsements. I'm still tripping off how he got the LeBron James brand to actually be sponsored at FAMU. So that's pretty dope. Hopefully he expands out there in the HBCUs and sponsors a lot of those programs. That'll be tight. I mean, you know, he's following in Jordan's footsteps already, but that'll be a great next step for him, especially putting some money in the pockets of the HBCUs. That'll be great. But yeah, congratulations, LeBron. I know I got a bunch of LeBron James fan friends out there. And we've all been watching his growth since he first got in the league. We've been super proud. Some of these finals, you know, I wish he would have won so he can be kind of like solidified. Me personally, I was hella little when Jordan was doing his thing. So Kobe and LeBron were my guys that I was pretty much watching, and they were ones that are winning everything. Me being a Nuggets fan, I kind of was not really the biggest Lakers fan of all time. So I didn't really, you know, look up to Kobe as much as I looked up to LeBron, being able to do it as a young boy. Um, and growing up right before our eyes, of course, he's older than me. I'm not calling him a young boy, but yeah, seeing him do everything he's been able to do, accomplish what he's been able to accomplish, all the doubters be proven wrong to a certain extent. He only has 4. If he got, you know, a couple more before he ended his, you know, career, that would be dope. Add to the mantle there. And if he got to play with Bronny, that would be epic as hell too. That would be epic as fuck if we actually saw that happen. If they play together wherever they play. I still like the fact that he said in a recent, on the newest The Shop on HBO, he said that if he was to join the team that he wished he would have joined was the Warriors or some shit like that. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You could have said anything else. But yeah, I feel that. Yeah, what else we got here? Congratulations, LeBron. Congratulations, LeBron. Oh yeah, I forgot to say one more RIP. Metro Boomin's mom situation. That was also super tragic. His mom being killed by her boyfriend, and the boyfriend actually committing suicide after. That's tragic, man. What is going on in the world today? I forgot about that. I didn't mean to go back to the somber stuff or nothing like that, but I couldn't go past that without giving that RIP out there, man, because that is super sad for some shit like that to happen. I couldn't even imagine that shit happening in my family. You know what I mean? I don't want to think about it, but it's like prayers out to Metro Boomin. Um, man, take some time, my man. Prayers out to him and his family. Next topic we got here. I want to leave the boxing to when we were with AKA so he can kind of go over some of the stuff there. I know he loves the boxing. He goes really in depth into the fighting, and I want to wait for it, but I just want to talk about the Gervonta Davis and the Rolly fight. You guys saw that a couple of weeks ago, but me and AKA haven't talked about it. You guys saw the knockout. Yeah, Javante knocked that boy out, but we'll talk more in details about that. I know you guys saw it, the knockout scene around the world for the last couple of weeks. And then another fight we recently had, Devin Haney versus Kambosos, went out there to Australia. It did that thing to become the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, which is dope, especially since he's from Oakland, representing the Bay Area well there. We had Andre Ward, also just made the Hall of Fame, 32-0. Pretty dope to see that representation in the Bay Area and us to be known for some boxing. That's dope. And shout out to Devin Haney. I think he's only 23 years old, so he has a lot in front of him, and hopefully he can sustain his champion, because I love to see champions be able to sustain that reign, and especially the brothers, you know what I'm saying, especially being from Oakland in the Bay Area. Keep those, keep training, keep striving. And he might be dating India Love, if I'm not mistaken. That's nuts. Yeah, man, keep striving. And everybody else, young boxers out there, you know what I'm saying, strive to be great. You never know what can happen for you. 23 years old. Man. Yeah, so shouts out to all the young boxers. Shout out to all the champions out there. I'll wait for AKA to come out here so we can, we'll talk about it. Maybe a little bit old, maybe a couple of fights past him, but I'm gonna try to get him in here this week so it won't get past too far past before he talks about it. So, because we got to talk about that Obi-Wan new season dropped on Disney Plus, and we still got to talk about The Boys first 3 episodes dropping. Don't think we forgot about those shows and reviews. We can get those reviews out real soon. That's a mandatory mando type shit. So not Mandalorian, just mandatory. But yeah, we got to talk about that. So don't worry, we will be talking about that super soon. Again, once AKA comes and gets back on here, gets settled. I know he's very enthusiastic about Star Wars too, and I'm waiting to get his reflection on that. And The Boys, if you guys watch The Boys and you guys already seen the first 3 episodes, that shit is crazy. They started off with a bang, and you guys already know the rest of the season is going to be a bang as well. Keep watching, keep enjoying. We will get that review out to you very soon. What else do I got? OTAs started for the NFL. I'm very excited for that. Should I just throw that out right now? Go on my rant about the Buccaneers. We just got Akeem Hicks, man. I've been hearing really good things about him as of late. Of course, I've known what he did with his career in the Bears. Played for the Patriots for a little while. He's been to the Pro Bowl a couple of years, and he's a big boy, like 6'3", 6'4", about 350 pounds. You got Vita Vea, same size right there, plugging up the middle. We just drafted Logan Hall, 6'6", big boy, 290. And we still got who else we got up there? Oh, we got Shaq Barrett still, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. It's gonna be some run clogging, quarterback sacking going on. Hopefully our secondary can hold up. We re-signed Carlton Davis. Still got Jamel Dean. Still got Sean Murphy Bunting. We signed Logan Hall, so he's going to be our nickel / hopefully safety, and hopefully he holds it down, because we had so many injuries last year that we had nobody in the secondary, and everybody toasted us because they couldn't run on us. They were able to throw it to anybody they wanted because all our corners were hurt. So hopefully this year we can sustain that with the signing of Logan Ryan, signing of Logan Ryan. And then we did also sign Keanu Neal to play safety as well, kind of a box safety / linebacker in certain packages. Todd Bowles is our coach now, so we have a bunch of different defensive packages, I'm sure. And we're going to start implementing a whole bunch of stuff and get to our defense to being them grave diggers again. You already know we got Antoine Winfield in the back, Mike Edwards in the back as well, holding it down. Linebackers, Devin White, of course, Levante David, of course. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be holding down the middle all day. So we got a bunch of shit going down. Anthony Nelson, let me not forget about him. He came on strong. And on the other side, of course, we got a bunch of new tight ends, linemen, because we got to protect Tom Brady. He came back. We got Gadecki at our right guard after we lost Alex Kappa. Shaq Mason took over for Ali Marpet at left guard, so you replaced him, Pro Bowler for Pro Bowler. And then left tackle, of course, we still got Donovan Smith, right tackle Tristan Wirfs. Running backs, Leonard Fournette signed back for 3 years, $36 million deal. Actually, $30 million, I think it was, $30 million deal with incentives and shit like that. We signed Rashard White. If you don't know who that is, go look him up on YouTube. He was getting off on YouTube. If you look at those highlights, and he looks saucy out there on the field too. He knows how to, put on that football drip. So hopefully be a good second down back. He reminds me a lot of Le'Veon Bell. So if you check that out, hopefully we got a good 1-2 punch there. Still got Giovanni Bernard. and a couple of other guys we were still hoping to sign. Hoping Gronk comes back, sign Cade Otton, drafted him actually out of Washington, a dope ass tight end until he hurt his ankle last year. He's recovering from that, but at full strength, he's supposed to be a dope ass tight end with Cameron Brate and hopefully Rob Gronkowski. Signing back, that boy don't want to go to OTAs or do nothing. So hopefully he just kind of signs back right before training camp so we can get started for week one. We got the Cowboys week one. So we're hoping to do some damage. Let me not stop there. We got the receiving core, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, recovering from injury. So we should get him back about week 3. But we did sign Russell Gage from the Atlanta Falcons. Still got Scotty Miller, Jalen Darden. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that we sign Julio Jones. Hopefully he's getting his, working out, getting his hamstrings right. And then we sign him late because I think we still have some cap space to do some things if we really want to. The Rams ain't the only people that signing people, re-signing people, even though they fucking gave Aaron Donald a new contract worth hella money. I think it was like a $40 million raise. I think he'll make $40 million this year and $30 million next year, paying out like hella money off over the next 2 years, up to 2024. No trade clause, making him like the highest non-quarterback player ever in NFL history, which is well deserved because, like a lot of people were saying, Shannon was saying, the Rams can credit a lot of their playoff wins, a lot of their wins at all to Aaron Donald's play, whether it's him making plays himself or him clearing the way for other players to make plays. He's probably gonna go down, my opinion, as one of the most consistent and one of the best defensive players of all time because, boy, can't nobody stop him one-on-one, of course, and he's only 30, so I think if he wanted to play a good another 6 years, he could because of the shape that he keeps himself in. And he's super strong, and his training is crazy as fuck. He's like the only defensive lineman I know with a six-pack. And he might be almost 300 pounds with a six-pack. Shit is nutty. Nose tackle. Crazy. But we're not talking about the Rams right now. We're talking about the Buccaneers. I hope we have one of the hardest schedules. Rams have first. We have the 4th. We start off the season with the Cowboys. Week 2, I think we play like Green Bay or something. Week 3 play. No, week 2 we play Saints. Week 3 play Green Bay, and then we play fucking the Chiefs. So hopefully we get the team together pretty fast so we can just kill shit so we can get to where we need to be. And that's my spill on that. What we got next? We got Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp. I know you guys probably heard about that verdict in that case. I know you guys probably been tracking it on Twitter, TikTok, or wherever you've been following it. But we did get the verdict recently, and Johnny Depp won like 13 cases, a bunch of cases of defamation against Amber Heard. She won like one case against his lawyer for saying some weird shit about her, some statement that was kind of blasphemous. That she did win about $3 million, but in total, in defamation money, Johnny Depp ended up winning $15 million from her. So cancel out that $2 million that she's getting is pretty much now you owe him 13 mil. Hopefully he gets all his movie deals back and everybody apologizes and throw all kind of movie deals at him because she did. Obviously, they said in the court of law that she defamed him and, threw his name around domestic violence, all kind of stuff, calling him alcoholic, abuser, all kind of stuff. He might have been alcoholic though, but all the stuff that she said about him affected his, his career in Hollywood, Pirates of the Caribbean, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, and he can't get any of that back. He's getting older. You don't know what kind of roles he could have got, or who people gave those roles to, because he wasn't able to do movies or his name wasn't touchable in the media at that time. It's kind of crazy. I'm still wondering to see if they do take her out of Aquaman. I don't think they'll go that far because she needs to make that money to pay Johnny Depp. But shoot, man, I'm happy that case is over though, because it's kind of sad to see that relationship get dragged so publicly. Because I mean, they were in love at one point, I'm sure, but sheesh, there was cases of her cheating on him with James Franco. I mean, it's just a lot of shit, a lot of mud being dragged on both of their names, which is kind of toxic. And I feel like it could have been done in a way smoother way. But I mean, Amber Heard tried to kind of lie on him and it affected him in a bigger way. I think it was worth way more than $15 million, but You win some, you lose some, and I think $15 million in his name, getting his name cleared more than anything is probably worth the most to him. And I'm sure he's happy somewhere playing a guitar, touring somewhere with a rock and roll band, doing some shit. That's why he couldn't even make the trial. He was excused from the case because he was on tour with some band in England or some shit like that, which is pretty baller actually. You're like, you don't have to be here to win $15 million. We'll allow you to go on tour and do whatever. We'll just read your verdict and you'll hear it online. He already had a pre-prepared statement. I'm sure he knew he was gonna win and shit like that. Amber Heard's statement was wild as well. I've seen people online calling her the Jussie Smollett of domestic violence, which is low. That's low internet. That's low internet. But shit, maybe she is though. That's kind of weird. Moving on next to kind of toxicity. Shit, man. Jada Pinkett Smith. She recently came out and put out a video talking about how she's gonna have a red table talk based on alopecia, and how kind of at the end of the statement, she said she wishes the slap never happened and wish the two brothers can kind of get together and hope they mend fences and kind of are able to work together for the culture, blah, 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 which I think was kind of harsh, man. She used her platform in a slick way to kind of make it seem like Chris Rock was still at fault. That me personally, I you know where I stand on it. I feel like the joke wasn't that bad. The slap wasn't deserved. I think she kind of manipulated him into doing that. And I think it's something behind the scenes that is causing him to feel this way. And the slap wasn't meant for Chris Rock. He probably was just letting out his frustration at that moment on Chris Rock. And I feel like that's kind of sad. I feel like they do need to mend fences, but I don't think it's on Will Smith or Jada Pinkett's terms. And I damn sure feel like they should not do it on the red table, because there's no way you're going to slap the shit out of me and then use that apology for his benefit. Hell no. Or for their benefit to make y'all look like a good people. In this instance, hell no, you shouldn't have put your hands on them if you felt some type of way. My thing was, if you walk on stage, if you do anything like that, maybe whisper something in his ear. Maybe that'll be a little gangster. If he was telling more jokes as you walked away, then maybe you take it to another level. But you know, I heard on the radio, Will Packard was the person putting on, hosting, producing that Oscars, who's a black man. A black man was winning an Oscar and a black man was up there giving away awards. So it was ultimately Black night. And on that night, he picked that day to decide to act up, which was a bad look overall. I mean, he was defending his wife. I'm not going to leave that out, because he was defending his wife's honor. Again, that red table talk was about alopecia and women dealing with alopecia. And there was a woman on there who said she almost committed suicide due to her alopecia and how she felt about it. So they made it a really, I would say, one-sided kind of episode thing. Like, let's make you guys feel really sympathetic towards me and my alopecia, and then be like, okay, I'm extending this olive branch. They should recover. They should be friends. They should mend these fences and just be friends again. It's like, no, you slapped me. Like, shouts out to everybody with alopecia. I'm not like poo-pooing that at all. That is something that people deal with, and insecurities are real. People deal with those every day. It may not be alopecia, but it can be anything, and that is real. I have my insecurities about some things. Some of them may not be very valid. Like sometimes my fucking fingernails be crazy. I'd be like, people don't look at my fingernails. Or my handwriting. I'm like, God, don't look at my shit either. It's embarrassing. But yeah, man, just be you. If you have alopecia, gotta shave your head, man. Rock that shit. Don't be ashamed of that shit. People do weirder stuff in the world. Being bald, I'm gonna be bald soon. Everybody's gonna be bald soon. So if you have to, go a little early, rock that shit. I've seen plenty people out there rocking that bald dude and looking pretty fine, men and women. Well, what? Nah. People look good with the haircut either way, is what I was trying to say. But yeah, what we got next on these topics here? A lot of these stuff I have planned for the episode that Jen and Chelsea were going to be on. I was going to talk about relationship stuff and some stuff like get the women's perspective on the Kevin Samuels topic and the Michael Blackson topic that we talked about before. It's usually just me and AKA talking about it, so I wanted to kind of get a female's perspective on here and kind of get them to, somebody to see, say how they felt about Kevin Samuels, RIP, not to drag him, because people are still talking about him online and some of his talking points and stuff, though he has passed away. And it's kind of like showing the sides of some women that felt the kind of way about what he was talking and when he was around. And there is women that kind of feel the opposite and may feel like that he's not the monster people say he was. Some of the stuff he's saying is valid. He's not all the way right with what he's saying, but he's not all the way wrong. Not saying Jen and Chelsea are going to be on that wave, but I do want to broach those topics with him as well. There is a topic I wanted to talk about, love language, which was pretty tight. Just how you kind of love people, how you like to receive love, how you give love and stuff like that. And there's 5 different types, man. Words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Also, I wanted to talk about that with people too, but nobody wants to hop on the Best of Bias and talk when I want to talk. But yeah, I will save that. But me personally, I would say I'm more of a words of affirmation kind of guy. It's a little sneak preview about your boy here. Yeah, I like to be told sometimes that I'm doing a good job. It makes me feel good, though I may not accept it in the best way. Be like, oh, thank you so much. I'll be like, oh, thanks. Yeah, I kind of inside internalize it and know I'm on the right track. I don't need to be touched all the time. Receiving gifts, I don't really need to receive gifts either. Buying myself stuff makes me the happiest. Quality time, I do like spending quality time, but technology nowadays makes quality time even kind of weird because it's like you're there, but you're not there in person. But that's when I do need that physical touch. When we ain't spending that quality time, whether it's my love, well, especially if it's my loved one. If it's just like family, I don't need to be physically touched all the time. I could just be near quality time with my family is perfectly fine. But words of affirmation is pretty much where I stand with it. And I kind of hope to get more talks with a couple of friends and a couple of people of the opposite sex, so we can go out here and get different versions and different thought processes. So you don't have to hear me in AKA all the time, or Deshaun or John. And you know what we gonna talk about. You know our bias. You've seen us enough to know what we kind of go say. So that's coming soon. Probably, shoot, man. We have to catch up, man. This vacation put us behind kind of, so I kind of have to throw out a lot of stuff at you. I hope y'all ready. Maybe let's talk a little bit about this update, iOS 16. There's this thing, a new update to where you can unsend messages after you send them, which is kind of interesting to me because I don't know how it's really gonna work unless the person's like sleeping or something. But it is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. What do you need it for? What do you need that feature to like for evidence? What if people just screenshot it? Or what if the person has an Android? Are you able to do that as well? It's kind of interesting. But iOS 6, I don't know. It's kind of a boring topic, huh? You guys don't care about that. I'm to the end of my little short baby talk. I try to give y'all something to chew on for a little bit until we get these people, these guests, to talk a little bit about these shows a little bit more. I don't want to go too deep into it without the homies, so we can get to talking about it. Because you guys don't want to hear me rebel, but I do want to tell you guys about this merch that I got. Man, we got a whole bunch of stuff. I got some stuff next to me now. I got a whole bunch of this stuff. You see this hat right here? You see this hat right here? I'll be rocking the truckers all the time because that's kind of like more so. Sorry to the audio listeners who can't really see what I'm doing, but to the people watching on the YouTube, I do. I do like these truckers. We got Best of Bias truckers. We got what else we got? We got the bucket hats. You feel me? We got a whole bunch of stuff. What else? We got the dad hats. The dad hats you guys have seen before. You see the black one back there on that jersey. Plenty of stuff. And we got the shirts coming soon. I'm probably gonna have the graphic put up here. I'll show Ariel the graphic and anime Kumite shirts coming soon because you know how we like our anime. We haven't talked about anime as of recently, but we'll probably get that on there with that episode we do with Deshaun. When we get AKA back on here too, because we nerd out with that shit. And of course, there's plenty of stuff coming up. I think we got Jurassic Park comes out this Friday. I think Thor: Love and Thunder comes out real soon. a lot of stuff. We're getting hit with the full force of the summertime blockbuster. So, we're gonna have more topics. I'm back. I know you guys are waiting for an episode. It's been a little while, but it's gonna be coming back in full flow. Aruba was fun. I haven't really talked about it yet. Got a lot of sun out there. If you guys haven't been, definitely go visit. The beaches are amazing. The food is amazing. The island is amazing. The people are amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do. We stayed in a villa. It was really nice. There's wild dogs outside. I like dogs a lot, but there was local dogs just running up and down the street, which was crazy. But the villas and stuff out there was nice, man. The land was like desert, so it's a lot of property being built out there for vacation and stuff like that. So there's a lot of property if you're looking to invest. It's a good place to invest for vacation homes because it's 70%. I think the population or 70% of the economy is tourism. So it's always tourists there, in and out. Yeah, so if it's a place that you want to buy a house out there, I think the houses were going for 200, 300,000, which is pretty cheap for over there. And they make those houses, they trick them out in some dope villas, like pools, double decker, see-through, all glass type shit. It's just wild. So if you're looking to invest, you're looking to visit, just go. The flights getting there is kind of wild. Our flights got fucked up on the process. United had us messed up. First flight got delayed like 3 times, messing up our connecting flight. It was hell. Our whole family got split up and had to go in 2 waves. It wasn't the move. But if you are going, make sure you get a first class ticket or something so they won't mess your shit up. I don't know. I guess there's no way to prevent delays, but these flights, man, I've heard a lot about flights getting delayed now. Shoot, I hope my flight to Vegas don't get delayed. We're going right around the corner. Please don't delay that flight unless the plane's messed up. I'll get on no flight if the plane's messed up. I'll stay my ass off that thing. But yeah, I'm back full force. Family had a good time. Got a little DACA. You know what I'm saying? Got a little Caribbean vibe. I look like I'm from Aruba. I think I said that before on the Instagram. But man, I'm back full force. We have sports coming up. It's almost football season. We look like fantasy football coming up. The Best of Bias Invitational 2022. Well, I guess it's 2023 season. I'll get the name set up by then, but we got a bunch of everybody running in the back. A bunch of people are in the league last year. We'll get guests on here this season to talk about the pod. I know Damo don't want to be on the pod. I think he's scared to be on here. If you're hearing this, Damo, get your ass on the pod. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about for fantasy. Of course, the finals are in full effect, so we'll talk more about that. Will Steph Curry win the championship, get that MVP that has so eluded him as to now, and hopefully he can get that, and people say it'll solidify him in the top 10 of the NBA history. So he is the best shooter of all time. So if he can win that championship and get that MVP, that'll change some things for his legacy and for his career. But I still feel like I want the Celtics to win. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, that's it, man. You know where to find me at. It's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. Man, keep liking, keep adding, keep subscribing on the YouTube. There is, getting a bunch of followers up there now. I mean, we don't have a bunch, but I see the love growing, and I want to see it continue to grow. So tell your friends, tell everybody to subscribe, like, comment, add some, add some comments. Let me know if you want to be on the pod. Everybody's welcome. Hit me up in the DMs if you need some merch. Shirts coming soon. You know where to find the pod on that website, bestofbias.com. You know where to find all the old pod. I haven't said this in a while, but the Best of Bias podcast, you can find that episodes 1 through 99. Then we have Best of Bias podcast episode 99 through 100. The trailer on there breaks down why we got 2 different podcasts, but there was a little snafu in the system, and we had to move the podcast over to Anchor. And we got a new podcast. It was the Best of Bias, where we've had episodes 100 to 117, where you can find that now. This is episode 118. So yeah, go add that one and add this one. Listen to every episode. We have a whole bunch of show reviews on there in the past. We did all the Marvel shows that's come out for Disney Plus. We've probably done that. And we reviewed it episodically. So if you haven't seen the shows, watch those and listen to reviews as we go by and all that old stuff. Go listen to it because it's gold. It's still there. And episodes 100 through 117 have been all go to. We reviewed a whole bunch of other shows, movies, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, all the pop culture that's happened the last, every week, man. We track everything. So it's there. Again, guests are still coming, aka Chelsea Jen, V-Ron soon. Ashley's back in the crib. So Ash Wash will be back on here soon. Plenty more guests. Got plenty of stuff to talk about. A bunch of brands in this house, a bunch of businesses in here. So we can get everybody on here, have time to, express themselves. My mom knows what that's all about. But to all the Best of Bias listeners, thank you for joining me today. And I just want to let y'all know I'm back. I ain't gonna leave y'all again, I promise, unless I go on another vacation. But I'll get y'all that double episode like I did last time. You already know what it is. It's your boy Lydell Dinero, flying solo, episode 118. What it do? And where my theme song at? I said where my theme song at. Y'all supposed to say it with me. It's right here. Peace out, y'all.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. It's the best of bias. You are now listening to the Best of Bias Podcast.